What up, though? This B-Boy Reg.
I'm DJ Butter, y'all. We
What
funky
up,
fresh in the flesh. We back
Cookie
to
Fresh?
attack.
Yeah. Yep. Back here for so everything's going on in the news right now. We gotta say RIP to Miss Wallace
Yeah, rest in
Biggie
peace.
Smile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rest in peace.
it's kind of sad in a way because I mean, they had all the conspiracy theories on what happened to Big and the murder and everything like that, but um, I wanted her to see that case solved. You know what I'm saying? Completely before she passed. So, but yeah, man, rest in peace.
Yes, it's pretty much like she did a trip to Jamaica that recently. I seen pictures on the internet of her and her mom and little C's. You
Okay,
know, her mom is like 100 or something like that. So shout out to her mom. It's kind of sad that the kids don't outlive the parents. You know what I'm saying?
right,
I guess the
yeah,
the stress of trying to find justice and the time and all this stuff, it's amazing, man. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
The timing is crazy.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Little
What else?
C's. Yeah, Little C's. Keep your head up,
Yeah,
Lil C's. He seemed like one of the most loyalist, you know, people on earth. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Shout out to Little C's. Yeah.
Him, him and Tony Yayo. You can't say nothing bad about 50 Yayo. Like, man, that's how 50 is. You be like, that's how
Yeah.
50 is.
Yo, shout out to Juan Shannon on a t-shirt. Highland Park is the neighborhood we grew up in. Highland Park
Oh, that's
strong. I'm gonna get you one of these shirts, Reg. He just sent it to me. I told him I was gonna rock it. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. Cool.
shout out to Modern Tribe, Juan Shannon once again. You know,
Cool.
yeah.
That's what's up. Modern Trial. Who all he had on this label? He had
He had
oh
a
was it
Boom 2G.
Boom?
Yeah,
Yup.
Mr.
Yup.
Scott. He did the Detroit hip hop compilation. He premiered Juan Shannon premiered that Proof and Jay Dilla the Science.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was on the Highland Park, well, Highland Park style. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out to
Right.
Juan, man. Yeah, he really represent for Highland Park. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
What's hey, you watch boxing any?
yeah. I like. I've been back and forth. I like what Javante. Javante is my favorite. I know it's the light
Yeah,
skinned crew, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I like
yeah.
I
He
like
got
Javante.
he got the fight coming up with Lamont Roach. But I
Yeah,
think I think I don't know if this gonna be that easy, but I got him winning the fight though. But
yeah.
I want to see how this play out.
He well calculated. That's when he take those punches and he go back and regroup and breathe and don't
Yeah,
stress. He don't. You know what I'm saying? Just like Clarissa. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Clarissa Shields.
right.
I don't know if you seen that fight, Reg.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
you you seen it was a record label that sponsored the party the Papoose was a part of. It was dope to see that in-house, situation where they promoted their own, party like that, fight like that. You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
that's yeah. I
You
seen.
see.
I forgot the comedian name, but he had some footage backstage and stuff with her. Then he came out with the chinchilla on,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
Facebook. Yeah,
yeah. I thought I thought he was like a trainer. That's just her homeboy,
I guess I don't know.
huh?
I got always seeing him do comedy skits,
Yeah,
but it was funny to see him come in there. But yeah, he got like a whole little video vlog of him backstage and her prepping for the fight and everything, and them getting ready. So that was cool to see.
we came a long way. We can finally wear chinchillas at the fights now.
No, we can't.
Right.
The chinchilla, the new chinchilla is Instagram. Like as soon as
Yeah,
they see your Instagram, you spot it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's yeah, it's so funny out here, man. What you think about Papoose and Clarissa Shields? Them as an idol.
I mean, it's dope. I want to see. you know, they loyalty, you know, especially Pap loyalty
Right,
respected, man. Just how he was with K Slay and you know all that. You know,
right.
they seem like they, you know, Pap didn't sell out. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah,
and it's good to see them, you know, hitting the punching bag together and stuff. It's like Pap was hitting the bag next to her. So I said, man, that's right up his alley, you know.
yeah. Dudes be calling they be calling Easy the block captain. They call him the Timu Papoose. It's funny. It be some weird dynamics though with couples. Like you see people, you see that one couple in the hood that you went to high school with, and when they break up, you see who they get with after the fact. You be like, maybe that was your type, or maybe she was never your type, right? Because you see what they
Hmm.
end up with after the fact.
Hmm.
But yeah, all I gotta say is, man, don't piss her off.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a hell of a fight. You're gonna have your hands full with that one.
Well, yeah. I heard she got her own. What she got her own street in Flint. You know,
Okay.
some of my people was just out in Flint yesterday, and it's good to see that they still trying to build something. It's a little desolate, but you know, her
Yeah.
represent from Flint, her and Rio, the young OG and all that. You know, it's the perfect timing for Flint. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's
hope
dope.
it brings some money back to Flint. You know, mm.
Yep.
What you think
Yeah.
about that photo with Lil Meech and Rick Ross and Floyd and all of them together?
Yeah, man. It's kind of, I get it, like that whole dynamic. I mean, on one hand, you like seeing people unify, right? But it's like now it's like sometimes people are taking photos to intentionally like cause a stir or create the beef, you know what I'm saying, or instigate it a little bit more just to keep the names popping. But um, I don't know, man. I just think it's like people being used as pawns. Like, look at me. It's kind of like the Faith Evans Tupac thing. Like, look at me, I'm with your chick. You know what I'm saying? Or look at me, I'm with your op. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just hope they do something with it. Everything ain't for the gram. You know, just like you know, I seen something that's like they said something like, damn, if the song BMF generated $200 million, why he couldn't go back and check the climate on a bag being there without him with him being his own man to do it.
Right, right.
It's just a lot of
Yeah,
entitlement in this music business sometimes, you know. I guess he
yeah.
supposed to ask for permission to make that move, but it's a funny game, man. You know.
Yeah, I was saying, I think on the last episode when we had Harlem on, I was just saying, like, with the whole meat situation, I think when dudes come home, they need to really like sit down and take a breather and like understand the landscape, especially if you're gonna get into like the media, or if you had a name. Like, I think he could have did an interview, the right interview, and made a ton of money, right? I'm talking about like Shannon Sharp type or something like that, like on a large scale, because there's people that wanted to talk to him and hear his story. But I just think coming out and seeing how the internet move and the streets and the music industry and the internet, they are different things, you know what I'm saying? And people try to, I think too many times, because I hear a lot of rappers say this and they talk about the street. So I go by the code, I go by the ethics of the streets and all of that. Sometimes it just don't mix, and you trying to force it to mix with people that don't come from that. And the internet just moved completely different. Like, people believe what they believe, or they believe what got the most likes and shares. So you can almost force people to believe something. So I think, that whole situation, if he was getting money from the show, I don't know how the money was cut. I don't know how much he was getting, or his son was getting money or whatever. I just think everybody should have fell back, seen who was who's playing the game, and how the game was played as far as the internet was concerned, and then made your business decisions from there. But it just that whole thing just got sloppy, man, like real quick.
I mean, what can you say if you come out, you sell the rights to your stuff to get freedom,
Right,
a certain amount of freedom, and then you come out, the lifestyle is the world is so much faster. It's like fast food in this restaurant right now. It's like,
right,
what I'm saying? It's how it is. Like, to spend 5 million in 3 years or whatever they said, it's like to take care of a family and Meech's lifestyle was so out here. It's a lot.
yeah,
It's a lot to, and then we in a world to where if somebody give you $1, they gotta control every every
yeah. That's
analytic.
true.
You know,
It's two sides to that though. You gotta respect. I got this thing where I say respect the investor, right? So like it's two sides, and you've been there before where you pay for people's studio time and they show up late, or you pay for the studio time, the production and everything. Then people take the music and run with it, So it's like what sacrifice we don't know the full sacrifice 50 had to do to get the show off the ground and running. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if $5 million was enough compared to what should have been gotten, or if it was a fair share. But 5 million is 5 million. 5 million to feed a lot of people. You know what I'm
totally,
saying? And if
totally.
you're talking about what, three people plus family, that's some good money to come home to. I don't know what people lifestyle is, but it should have been a way to parlay that into something bigger and better and just move different. But we don't know all how people was treated. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You come home and you treat it like I put money in your pocket, like you said, I got control over you. Now I'm my own boss. I want to move how I want to move with the people I want to move with. So I understand it on both sides.
It's like me giving you some money, right? And say, before I give you this money, here's a list of people I don't want you to fuck with.
Right,
You be like, what? These people that gave me props in the back of the day, it'd be past rappers or past DJs you mess with, or you be like, damn, I ain't had no
right.
problems with them. It's just like
You got yeah,
you inherited. It's like a lot of these rappers inherit the front man of the group's beefs, and then 5, 6, 10 years from now, it'd be hard for them to have a steady roll from all the blackballing they accumulated. Just that was already inherited. But
right. But I mean, you hear that in business in general. I think people think this is like a street beef thing. Like you hear it in entertainment, like, okay, if you work on that movie with such and such, you're done in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes on in every industry. Like, oh, okay, if you do business with that company, you will never get another. We'll stop being your supplier, or whatever the case may be. It goes on in every industry. Like you can't there are situations where you can only be exclusive to Ford for, you know what I'm saying, supplying their products. You can't supply the same thing to Ford and GM, right? So there's always in every industry and every business, there's a line to say, okay, we want something exclusive to us and it's in our contract, right? But again, that's one party trying to force somebody to play by rules they probably never discussed in the first place, right? But
right, what
I
was
don't
what
know.
was 50 rule? What he said? It was 50th law of power or something. He said never appear to need anyone.
Yeah,
That was
yep.
a tough. That was a
But
tough line right there.
but even then, sometimes you gotta know what's best for your business that you're
Right.
working on now. So like if I know the history of Like if I know the history of you and somebody else, and they call me to be on the show, I'm like, I'm gonna check in with you first. Be like, okay, this person hit us. Is this a good business move, or is there a bigger issue that I don't know about? Right. So before I even respond to that, there's just certain ways you got to move when you know there was an issue before,
Mm.
right? So like I said, in any business, it's like, hey, if I got a contract with GM to do something, I need to find out if it's okay for me to offer services to Ford, or is there like a non-compete? It's so much that goes on,
Exclusive.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Right.
the same thing, but usually that conversation or that agreement or understanding is had up front. But in this situation, because it's hip hop and because you got the streets involved, some people just expect you to know, like, you've seen my history before. Anybody that parted with that side or took photos, they became my op at that point. So yeah, it's
Well,
just a fine line. I just feel sorry for Lil Meech, no,
yeah, me
but
too. And the fact that, even Tony Yayo got on TV the other day and said it. So a lot of them niggas I wouldn't have beef with if it wasn't for 50.
right.
But
But
that come with the program.
yeah, but again, them dudes ain't feeding them and taking them on
Right,
tour and helping them make millions. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
He was just saying how he did some show where, you know what I'm saying, he made good money, and it wasn't a 50 show. You know what I'm saying? Over in
Mm,
like Sturgis or Germany, somewhere like that. He was saying, I forgot where it was, but it's just one of them things, man. You live and you learn. But
mm.
yeah, it's just crazy. And I mean, for 50 to invest in Little Meech, like it's coming out. He paid for his acting classes, and for 2 years he fought for him to be on the show. They was trying to get like Terrence Howard. I'm like, who the hell? I probably wouldn't have watched it with Terrence Howard.
Mm.
So I mean, you can understand that's somebody investing into something before it even came together. I'm investing in you and your family and your brand, and now I see you with such and such. So I get it.
You
Well,
see, do you see the Wallo and Shannon Sharp interview? Um,
yeah,
it's just that's a pretty deep interview, man. His ambition is through the roof, man. Wallo is something different, man. I
yeah,
just was watching that how he you go you looking at the world from behind the walls, and you saying, damn, you seeing how lackadaisical the world is with a lot of shit, and for him to come out, because I met him when he came out, he was just so aggressive.
right,
It's like he woke me up like, damn, okay, cool. And those type of guys can like wake the dead up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he's amazing, man. It's just to see how they bartered and made their podcast work. How it is, and just the determination of fighting to get sponsorships before true sponsorships come around. He just
yeah,
woke the rapper out of Gilly up and said, "Hey, come on, let me use our personality and all this internet, because the internet is just it's like one button." You know what I'm saying?
right,
A lot of people can made the best out of that one button. Just to hear him say that, because you got majority of people just looking at the phone majority of the day. For him to jump out the trash can and in the rain and content, content, content. It's like, oh, he was determined. Day two. You know what I'm saying? It's just inspiring to see that, and just to see how much what he done in 4 years. See how challenging it is for us to do what we do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like it's amazing, bro. That was a
It's the So he got what I call the foreigner effect, right?
Mhm.
So like when I know it. I know, like my boy Marcus came home, and he ended up getting into construction, right? And he's doing way better than dudes that been out for years. You know what I'm saying? That was already in some type of professional industry. But it's like the reason I say like that because foreigners have a different view of America, right? So when they get here, not all of them, but enough of them, they have this like urgency to go get it, this hustle. They see everything as an opportunity. Where we're here, we always see the drawbacks and how somebody's holding us down, right? So foreigners come back with a different view. What Wallo mindset was, you can hear it in his voice, like, oh mate, you mean I could do that? Well, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look at all the ways it wouldn't work. He was just like, oh, this will work this way. Let me do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a lot of people. I don't know if he did or not, but in his mind, it wasn't a lot of people. If it was, he wasn't listening to him to say, hey, when you get out, you can do this. He already started mapping this out. When you hear him talk, he was mapping it out while he was in there. He was
Yeah.
just seeing all the opportunity that was available. And it was just like Gilly had a platform that was already, you know what I'm saying? He had a following
Mm-hmm.
already. Wallo was like, this was just the hustler in him, man.
He didn't wanna
So that's that,
the beauty of him, he didn't want to hear Gilly being blackballed. He's like, no, I can't. We
right,
have to we have to go beyond, you know what I'm saying? I don't see that. You could call, let's call Birdman, Lil Wayne over here now. Let's call this. Here he is, work with Rock Nation, and here Gilly was blackballed by Jay Z. You know, but his mentality was just optimism. You know what I'm saying? You
right.
know, some people just be
Yeah, that's what we
victimized.
need.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yeah, it was deep hearing him talk about just how, how we are in the hood as far as like, the violence and everything and people's mentality and not being able to get out and being stuck in an environment and a mind state. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like you can't escape from you can't change your mindset if you're in the same environment that's telling you this what you have to do. So I mean, he was the perfect person to
totally,
give that speech, a dialogue. Yep.
totally. Shout out to Wallo, man. You know, I look at that, I say, damn, to get you can get institutionalized just being out in the free world like this. It's like one of my friends, like he called me, he had problems with his wife, right? And so he called me late at
Right.
night. He drunk, going through his thing, and it's like, and I'm like, let me give him an hour. Okay, he gonna try to push it to two. But I ain't trying to have problems with my wife.
Right.
But you realize you be in this clusterfuck of shit sometime with people like, and
Yep.
they put you into it without you knowing it, and it's whether it's positive or negative, it's so good to hang on to people that ain't gonna try to put you on no put a gun under your seat while you're driving down the street. You don't know it's there, and there's so many people that like that in the world.
Oh
You know,
man, yeah.
it's just the same way. It was like, and like I tell him, it was like, don't rub that off on me. You know how they say, don't let that brokenness rub off on me.
Yeah.
It's a
And it
lot.
don't just be broke financially, it just be
It's
broke
broken
mentally
spirit.
sometimes.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
broke is
yeah,
broke in a lot of ways and you get around certain people and it just be like I
yeah.
have still have conversations with certain people every now and then, but I just can't be around that energy. Like
hmm
even if we're doing the same thing that we both enjoy, sometimes I just gotta enjoy that with somebody else, whether it's playing ball or going to the
hmm
gym. It's just certain people I can't be around, even though we're doing something in common. It's like
Right,
I can't
right.
rock with it.
Man, dig that. Dig that.
You know?
Man, shout out to Method Man for the NAACP award. Shout out to you, man. I had a chance to meet him in Detroit a long time ago. Y'all see it on the channel. Y'all
Oh yeah.
subscribe, like, share. Man, what else we got, Reg? What else? Another topic we got
Shoot.
on the list?
The world's moving. You got oh yeah, Bodie came out with I just seen the what's it, well fishing or well. I didn't
Yeah,
forgot the name of it, but that I
yeah.
seen the little visual video for that. That was dope.
Chucky Strangers or something is his name, or some of the producer. Yo, I
Yeah.
think Bodie got what 36 albums out right now. Yeah,
Dang.
shout
Yeah.
out to Bodie, man.
Damn, 36.
Yeah, 36 albums, man. I think he dropped about four this year already or something. You know,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, hey, you tell me something. You heard you familiar with Daylight, the rapper, the
yeah,
battle rapper? Yeah,
yeah.
you heard his response to Joey Badass.
Not yet, not
Yeah,
yet.
he got a nice little he's spitting on there though.
Mm. You
Yeah.
know, he on TDE. I gotta check that out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you gotta check him out. He got
Mm.
damn I think Ab-Soul was in the video. Cause he
Mm.
had two. He had one where it's like a New York type backdrop and setup. And
Mm.
he's spitting on there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I seen a day in the life of Daylight, and he was playing basketball. Right, Reg, he didn't miss not one shot. I'm like, you know, he an astronaut for real. He an alien. He was throwing it
Yeah.
behind his back and just man, he was throwing in the air all types of way. He didn't miss,
You
and he
sure
was
it wasn't no edited footage?
it wasn't
I,
an AI nothing. I'm like,
I
man, how
got
did
I gotta check it out.
then he on there was like they was trying to ban me because I'm too good for the league. I'm like, yeah, you is. Like he was making everything. You know, the guys like that, man, it's like when it's just like you got golf, you got hip hop, you know, you well rounded. It's like you want to get to sit down and know them type of guys, you know, like wow,
Yeah.
you know,
And he got it's a thing they got. It's like a cipher thing. It's him, Geechee Gotti, and I forgot who the third person was, but it was a they had these dudes like this just a beat, and they take like several rappers and then they all spit a verse, and then everybody, the three judges, judge who got the best verse. Then they go on to the next round. Then they spit on the beat. So it's a dope concept. But it was a dude on there from Detroit. Um, I'm gonna remember his name. I'm gonna put the footage up, but it was a dude on there from Detroit. It said Detroit and Long Beach or something like that,
mm,
but you could tell he was Detroit. He had the lingo and a little bit of the swag and everything, but he had some bars, boy.
mm.
He had some bars, and he was saying stuff, and they was just like, the screw face. But I'm
Oh
I'm I'm
yeah,
gonna pull his name up.
I gotta check that out, man.
Yeah, but
Shout out to Detroit Diamond, man. Speaking of that, bars and Detroit, you
oh
know,
yeah,
she making her rounds. I'm glad she left the show and made it to Sway in the morning. You know,
yeah,
things like that. It's dope. She got a publicist that seemed like she got behind her. You know, I want to let you know too, Detroit Diamond, our homeboy Raymond Wells was named Detroit Diamond. Rest
oh
in peace
yeah,
to Raymond Wells, man. Rest in peace, Raymond Wells. You look him up. I just want you to get hip to him. You know, just keep the tradition going. It's dope that a female took his name instead of another guy. You know,
right,
but shout out to Detroit Diamond, Ray Wells, and the new Detroit Diamond. You know,
right. Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
got
dope.
yeah,
It's
look it
it.
up. You know,
I seen somebody else named Sauce Money one time. Like
wow.
it's like you would think when people, because now back then you didn't know, you'd be like in a different state or something, and then you hear like some local artists, if they wasn't like on a label or something like that, but you hear somebody named Sauce Money, and you like, wait a minute, how he Sauce Money, and we already, so like some of these names float around, but it's like sometimes the first artist with the name wasn't big enough, and the younger
Mm,
generation just didn't know. And
Mhm.
then again, some people you can't even Google them and find out
Mhm.
information. But if you're from the same city, somebody should have made that known. But it's carrying the name on. That's cool.
Yeah. I was able to before he passed, before Detroit Diamond passed, I was able to because he when he told me he had cancer, he's like, Butter, let's do a mixtape, man. So he used to call me. I just record him talking and things like that, getting little drops and stuff. I still got the mixtape I'm sitting on, so the family, holla at me, we put it out somehow, But shout out to Ray
Yeah, that's
Wells,
dope.
man. Yeah. Say what else going on in the news, man?
Um, Shoot, some of everything, man. You seen a video with the news story about the lady who kids died in the car. So
Yeah,
it's two situations. It's the lady, her kids died in the car, and a lot of that story seem a little. Some of it seems suspicious. I get it. We feel sorry for her, but something ain't adding up. And then the dad, he just kind of like, you know, kind of a bum in my opinion, but at the same time, it's like I get the whole baby mama drama and everything, but it's like if you ain't seen your kids in several months, at least know their whereabouts. Then you got the other girl in Pontiac. She was renting a whole condo, and them kids been in the house since 2020 by themselves. They like 15, 12. It was like I think it was 4 kids. They couldn't even walk. Their toenails were so long. They was like their hair was matted, and the neighbors was like, I never seen them come outside. The landlord just so happened to call because she was behind in her rent, and she was paying her rent before, but she got so far behind. Then he had the police do a wellness check, and one of the neighbors said he only seen a boy one time when he looked. The little boy yelled out the window like "nice car" or something. But apparently the mom was going over there just dropping off food and leaving. But they got her on video, thotting it up on Facebook and the gram, with titties all out and all of that. And she just left them there. So they about to charge her now, man. But that's just sad as hell. Cause it's like then they said the kids' father and grandfather was trying to get the kids. So
that's
we all
crazy.
know how baby mama, baby daddy drama go, but but still, I'm just saying as a father, like if I know where my kids live at, even though I'm going through it, at some point in time, I'm just gonna stop by the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like in the summertime, you just gonna ride past, see if they outside. Hey, what's up, y'all? Man, I'm gonna
That's
come back and
crazy,
get y'all.
man.
Me and your mama gonna work this out, or whatever. You just want to see their face, right? Or talk to them. If they 15, 12, you're gonna want to have some phone conversations. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't called you in a while, call them, vice versa. So it's just a lot of lack of accountability, man. And these young ladies having these kids and they overwhelmed, and then it get to this. You know what I'm saying? Like send them kids with their daddy. Like grandpa can't help all the time. It's two parents there. Let's make that work. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it's
seemed like
sad, man.
it's so in style to push the daddies away. If that's what it is for the black culture, man, we gotta change that. Well, I don't know what it is. If it's the mamas just can't do it all by themselves, and they gotta be in a thought video, it's like where the family at, man? I don't understand this no more. Like we gotta we
I
gotta change, bro. You remember that song, I Believe the Children Are the Future?
Yeah,
That shit don't exist no more, man. We gotta bring that shit back. Like, we gotta
it's sad,
put it.
man. Like I think I think it should be something where like, okay, if you got kids and y'all not together, right? And let's say the mom getting some type of social service or whatever, it should be, they always coming out to the dash, child support, and you end up in court back and forth, you fighting for custody. But where's all of that energy when it's like where's the welfare check on these kids? Yeah, they with the mama, but is the mama the best parent, right? Does the mama have the best situation, right? It's just like daddy sends some money, but then they gonna stay with the mama. And we're seeing time and time again, and this ain't the first time where we didn't see kids pass from it, but we seen child neglect and the kids with the mother and the father. Like I've been trying to get them more. They wouldn't let me get my kids, and the dudes just give up after a while.
Mhm.
I'm just like, man, don't give up the fight. Them your babies, you know what I'm saying? But
Right,
still, like it got to be some wellness checks and balances there. Okay, I don't have custody of my kids, but I'm allowed to come over, or they
right.
got to come over. I got to see them every week. Period. Like it's just crazy,
That
man.
should be in like the child support contract. Like, if I'm paying child support, I'm able to see the kids this way or that. To let me, if I'm
It,
tossing you some money and you've been known to be hot in the ass, let me at least see where my money going.
yeah, and if you're gonna keep having kids and you can't figure this situation out with the father, you having two and three more,
Yeah.
making the situation worse. And then the dude come along, see you got two kids and you struggling, then he pump another one in you, and then it's just like, come on now, we just gotta do shit better when it come to that, man.
Mhm.
Like it ain't easy getting along, but I get it, man. Like
Mhm.
damn, man, that's just sad. But I mean, that's the world we live in, man. It's like so many people just wanted attention.
Do it for the
She,
gram.
she on Instagram,
Just do it for.
sharp, boobs out, breasts all up in the camera. Um, the other
I,
one, she was like they sleeping in the casino parking lot with her mother in the car and her siblings, and the two kids that only had on a t-shirt and a diaper, and they passed, and she on there saying, I gave them everything. They had all the electronics they want, but come on now. So like something ain't adding up in that story. So it's just crazy, man.
Mhm.
You know?
It ain't a such it. For the for the grandparents to be there properly and Sunday dinner in a warm house. Those, if the parents fucking up, the grandparents is there. That way ain't there no more. You know what I'm saying?
Like old girl who kids died in the car, her mama was with her, and they like her mama 48 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she was a baby, probably raising a baby. Now they raising babies together, and
Hmm.
it's like the mindset ain't there. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of
Hmm.
trauma to kids when you grow up. The big minds don't exist no more where you had that stability. You got a few of them, but if grandma's in their 40s, or barely pushing 40 or 40 mid 40s, and they never had a chance to fully mature because they had kids early. Where's the stability? Nobody has that grandma's house no more, that
Yeah,
home that everybody went to when they life was a
yeah,
little shaky,
yeah.
you know. So,
What they say? The black male really starts maturing when he turns 42. You
yeah,
know, that's when the button hit or something. But say here's the grandma's is 48. It's like, you
yep.
know, gotta get
But
control.
really too, like some people, they say if you went through like any type of trauma, it's like a setback. Like if something happened and say you was 18, right, or 15, if you went through like major trauma, regardless of your age, you kind of still stuck at that age, right? So
Hmm.
it's like that's why you see some people, like even myself, it's certain things I do, and I'm like, damn, what did I do that? And I'm like, man, I'm still thinking like I'm 15 or something, you know what I'm saying, in this situation, because it's a family issue. And we had family issues when I was younger. And I'm like, oh, that's why I thought and said this, because in this type of situation, in this environment, I'm still stuck there, right? But you put me in another situation in business or something, I'm matured in that because I never had that trauma in business like that. You know what I'm saying? So people get stuck sometimes and wherever their trauma was at, depending on certain parts of their life. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just crazy, man. So the
Mm-hmm.
minute they said she was 48, the first thing I thought about was the grandma was a young parent and she never fully understood how to create stability for her kids.
Right.
So her daughter don't get it neither. So that's why they all living in a car together. It's like
Mm,
bring this all together. So
mm.
mm,
That's wild, man. I want to
yeah,
say too. Rest in peace to Irv Gotti once again. I seen Damon Dash talking about how he tried to talk to Irv Gotti about making his health wealthy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
All the money they have and all this the lifestyle they have, and it was sad to see Dame Dash break down talking about how he always was putting into Irv to get his health together. Brother said he died eating Chinese food or had a heart attack eating Chinese food or something.
right.
Just want to, everybody that's up in the age, man, y'all just take care of yourself, man. Stay away from all the sugar and stuff, man. It's just kind of sad to see Dame he's so King Kongish to see those guys break down, it's like, you know,
Hmm.
it was amazing, you know,
Yeah,
niggas be
because
so
Dame
full of pride.
diabetic. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
by Dame being diabetic, he's just like, okay, I don't want to see nobody else go through it because
yeah, yeah.
that lead to the strokes and all of that. And we got to be mindful of that. We can't have the same diet we had in our 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Really, by the time you 30, man, like, your palate should change a little bit, what you got to taste for it. Now you really eating to live versus, I like the chili cheese fries on the Coney Island, but it can't be an everyday meal. You know what I'm saying? With the Fago or the Vernus and all of that. But it's shit, you gotta eat grown man food.
Hmm.
That's just the truth. I mean, you see Russell Simmons been on that.
Yeah.
I ain't ready to go vegan yet, but
Get you
um
some mushroom coffee and all that. you drunk some of
yeah,
that yet?
I ain't
Yeah.
tried the mushroom coffee.
Psychedelic coffee is.
Yeah. You always gonna feel healthy, huh?
Right.
Right.
Hey, you know
Yeah,
what I seen, Reg, man? Man, they said I was looking at this MC Search interview, third base. They've been coming back in the play now. Shout out to Pete Nice and MC Search. But actually my boy trying to get Pete Nice on the show, so we working that out. Shout out to Pete Nice. But they said third base, man. Them guys, they was talking about when they signed a deal, they signed for 15,000 a piece, man.
I
And
can believe it.
I'm just looking at a lot of them guys was, Outcasts and Goody Mob. Them guys was signing for like 10,000 and 15,000 back then. You
Yeah,
know,
but I mean, you got to think. For one, man, the value of $1 was different. Like they say, Pot got paid like 15,000 to do juice, right? There, there's got to be a point in time where there's a fine line between knowing your worth on the front end and then on the back end. Like you hear about everybody from the first Friday getting paid like $5,000, right? You either gotta know I'm doing this job to set me up for something bigger. Because a lot of people don't realize, like the younger people don't realize who Pac was before Juice came out, his level of fame compared to after Juice.
mm-hmm.
The way I look at that is normally people would pay for that type of promotion, right? You got an album out, you know what I'm saying, Apocalypse Now, and you might have barely went gold. And then somebody say, um, we gonna spend a couple million so your next album can go double platinum or whatever the case may be. You'll be like, yeah, but they'll say this, the thing is you got to pay us back. Or your alternative is somebody come to you and be like, look, we're gonna give you 15,000, be in this movie, right? This gonna change the whole trajectory. Now it shows that you can act. So now you got other movie gigs lined up. You got we never heard Pac complain about what he got paid for Juice, right? Now we know like yeah, it blew up and people probably should have got paid more, but at the time we don't know what that dynamic is. You never know what's going to break you as far as breaking you into a higher platform than what you are.
Right.
So like what could third base have gotten a better deal? Probably so, but what they have been on a label that had the machine behind them to make them the the group we know as third base on that level, right? So it's like, okay, do I take this opportunity? It's a little bit of money on the front end, but if I can sell a million albums, that means my show's gonna be more packed, right? Well, it should be because I reached that many more people on this platform. So I'm gonna make it up on tour, right?
Yeah.
The problem I have with the entertainment industry is not so much the upfront money. My issue is when dudes are not getting the residual income, the publishing, the royalties, you know, everything that goes on from the longevity of the art, right? So if you did a movie, are you still getting paid from that movie because it's a cult classic? Are you still going to get paid from it 20 years later every time somebody stream it, buy a DVD, etc.? That's where I think that's where the biggest fight should be. The upfront money, to be honest, some people don't need more than 100,000 because it's gonna ruin their life. They gonna
Mhm.
some to be honest, some people gonna put it in the street and they gonna be tied to that. You know what I'm saying? Some people gonna blow through it
Yeah.
so fast. It's it's different when you broke and you get money in increments. You get your first 75,000, your first 125,000, your first 200,000. And if you get it in increments and you like, okay, I made 75, I blew it. When I get this 125, I got a plan for it, right? If you give somebody a million off rip in their pocket, not just their budget, but you give them a million off rip and they blow it, they're gonna be depressed.
Mhm.
Like that's why most lottery winners be depressed. Like they on
Yeah.
antidepressants, some of them
Yeah.
bankrupt because their mind hadn't caught up with their money yet. And that mindset of having that opportunity and losing it, then you got all the embarrassment and everything. How you expect somebody to make another album?
Yeah.
They gonna either gonna make it out of hunger or they're gonna make it out of desperation at that point because they feel like a failure. I blew through this money. Now when they go back to negotiate with the label, they starving, they desperate. So the label get over on them again. So everybody shouldn't jump out the window. I mean, I want everybody to get their money up front, but sometimes you just got to look at the platform you signing to
Right.
or you signing up for and say, okay, I'm gonna leverage this platform so now I don't have to go buy me a Tahoe. The local dealership gonna give me a Tahoe because I'm gonna run this commercial for them real quick, and
Mhm.
I didn't have to spend that $80,000 out of pocket, right? Because they seen me on a billion TV stations. So what?
Right.
So different ways to leverage it where you really monetizing that. I'm not saying don't get your money up front. Just be aware of what it can do to you if you never had that type of money before.
Yeah. You can be too lustful for it, or you can do it in moderation. You know, it's just like
Yeah,
you. Some people can't buy a whole pack of blunts. because they'll smoke them all right there. They got to go to the store every, once in a while, get, to make sure they don't smoke all their weed in one day or whatever. But it's the same thing with
Yup.
having money.
It's but it's just go back to though to investing in yourself. We seen it like time and time again where you had your cash money or your all your labels, your independent labels that end up signing like distribution deals. They was used to having, you know what I'm saying, 50,000, 100,000, and all the street hustlers that got into they was used to having money in lump sums and spending it the way they seem fit for their lifestyle. But they adapted to that. They knew how not to go broke,
Yeah,
right? And like Cam was just saying this about Dame, as much as you know, sometimes you don't want to. You see both sides of it, but like Cam was saying about Dame, like Dame put a lot of people on, and there's people that probably wouldn't have been as big as they were without a Dame Dash. But I think the talent he had, there still would have been a Jay-Z. We just don't know what direction it would have went, right? But at the end of the day, Dame financial status, like Cam said, is from Dame's money management, not because people didn't continue to make money for him. You know what I'm saying? If you have this lifestyle and you were generating here, if you want to keep your lifestyle here, you still got to generate this type of money. You can't expect somebody you helped 20 years ago to keep putting into this pot if the art y'all created don't keep feeding that pot, right? I get to showing love, but I'm not going to support your lifestyle if you're not managing your money. We did a project together. Like Cam said, I'm not still living off of Rockefeller money.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I did something new. So Dame has, some people are good at building businesses and building people, but some people are better managers, right? And some people just have a little of both. But some people are just great at building but not managing it. And
Hmm.
that's that's the thing. That's the hard part of giving an artist money up front because um, I hate to say it, sometimes it's just better off in a more controlled distribution to give it to an artist or so they get used to it. And the same with athletes.
Hmm.
That's why I think athletes should get paid, should have been getting paid in college. Like 50,000, your first 50,000, your first 100,000. If your family never made more than 50 or 100,000 in your life and you get 50,000 and you blow it at 21 and you get 100,000 and you blow it before you go to college, it's a little bit easier to understand and respect that $1 million once you get it,
Hmm.
right? Because you know what it feels like to have money and blow it. So
Right. Yeah. What he said, Cam said, Dame built several $100 million businesses. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, too, some people skills gotta be involved.
yeah,
It's just like people is we in a world of victimized people anyway. So you gotta handle people differently. Everybody can't, just like he said, damn, Cam, your house got dog shit. Kanye house got horse shit. It's
right.
like
And he said Dane he was like, this my walls, this is shit they make museum walls out of. You know what I'm saying? Like I it's cool, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to have that, but maintaining is my biggest thing in life right now is how do I maintain my lifestyle into my later years, right?
mm,
It's cool to have several million and made it, but you know, you maintain a lifestyle. Maybe you bring your lifestyle down. Maybe you're not in a $3 million home. You're in a $750,000 home, and you're not in New York. Maybe you're in North Carolina somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of rappers going to Carolina and Atlanta, and you like, damn, I think I seen MC Shan or something. I think he was doing like a garage sale in some suburb. You know what I'm saying? He just
in Atlanta.
I'll trip out. I ride up the street to a garage sale and see Shan,
Yeah.
but it's like correcting your lifestyle so you can maintain. So
Hmm. You're so right. Longevity.
yo,
People ain't really aiming for that longevity, man. Say,
yeah, man.
what music you listening to nowadays? What you see? What you looking forward to? You know.
Um, so I've been checking out that Two Chains and Larry
I
June. We
was gonna say,
mentioned that
yeah.
before.
They did
Yep.
a hell of a job on is it Jimmy Fallon or something was it?
Yeah.
They had the
Yep.
boat. They had the 3D boat or something while they was performing on sit down or something. It's dope to see that. His
Yeah.
Alchemist just see it seemed like he just like he in curator mode. Like he you know he done pushed that button like save hip hop button. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like LL will
Mhm.
rock the bells, having the radio and the cruise and things like that. That when you see that the empty void and you come right on in and make a difference, it's like that's the type of stuff I want to see Premier doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead. You know, the guys on the
Get
West Coast, Battle Cat, and you know, them guys keep doing EPs with guys. You know.
yeah, get Premier to do something outside like Scarface and Redman or something. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like we seeing it, we seeing where it work. You just get the right artists and mix it up. And it's like really, you know what I'm saying? It's like a good mix of styles and different flavors and stuff, but it come together because a lot of dudes more alike than what they think, you
Yeah,
know. So because I remember what was it, Currency and Jermaine Dupri had a little project
the EP.
they
Yeah,
was working. Yeah,
yeah.
and that was so left field, you know what I'm saying? But
That's what it's about.
um yeah, so you see when you do stuff like that, it bring out like a different type of creative out of people,
Hmm.
and it's good to just see that, man.
You see Conor McGregor signed Bone Thugs and Harmony.
No.
Yeah, he got them back in the studio. Shout out to our Ohio homies, Bone Thugs and
Oh,
Harmony.
that's
Midwest connection. Yep, they got Scarface in the studio. They got the original DJ Unique back in the studio. Conor
all right.
McGregor signed Exhibit as well. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they
They got
putting.
Tasha.
I think she back on the mix of doing something,
I,
man. They
I seen her singing on the it looked like I
the
think she was
original
like at a yeah, like
at a
at a
mall or
house.
something.
No, she was in the crib or something, and they were
Yeah,
just singing. And she just started breaking. Like y'all gotta bring Tasha back.
yeah, she sounded good too, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
she ain't need no lemon juice or nothing. Yeah,
it'd be it'd be funny to see how you see so many like background singers and stuff, and then they come out, and then you hear that they were singing background on certain songs like Faith Evans and some of
hmm,
these different artists, and you're like, damn, you sound background on that. But
yeah,
then what's her name, Jewel, and
yeah. She passed away. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah,
yeah. But then you got like Tasha. Was like somebody should have dropped the album on her or something.
yeah.
She could
Oh,
have had that whole
you know who else could
thug.
have had an album? Not
Who
to
was
cut
that?
you off. The dude on So Icy.
Oh yeah,
He could have, hey, that wino flow, that wino singing style. Hey,
yeah.
all these
That would
days,
have worked.
ooh, so hey, that guy was where he
Yeah,
at?
he could have just had all hooks and beats, and then
Yeah,
Zaytoven beats with him singing on it. Just put a bunch of different rappers on
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But man,
But yeah, man,
we had an hour. Hey, we did an hour today. but
podcast exercise.
but yeah, once again, shout out to Juan on the Highland Park Strong Red. Your shirt is coming. I told him,
Yep.
they can't send me one without sending you one. Shout out to
Shout out
Ramo.
Ramo.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
up, though, Ramo? Shout out to
yeah.
Detroit hip hop. It's been Dilla month. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody supporting the movement. We got more in store, man. Some interviews, y'all like, share, subscribe to our channel. You know, and we on like popcorn. You know,
Funky fresh in the flesh, and we out.
peace, y'all.